When it becomes too painful for her, she goes out and walks for hours. She can hardly bear the longing for her son. Last year, BILJANA TODIC gave birth to a boy. Just hours later, he disappeared.
It's just so awful that my child isn't with me anymore. When I imagine that someone else may be raising my child, the thought hurts.
On April 20th, 2014, BILJANA gave birth in a hospital in the western Serbian town of Šabac. The healthy boy weighed in at 3 kilos, and the new mother was happy.
It was such a wonderful feeling. The doctor congratulated me because he was so marvelous, and he screamed like crazy when they took him to the nursery so I could have a rest.
The next morning, BILJANA was still recovering in Šabac when they told her the bad news. While she slept, her boy had to be taken to a hospital 90 kilometers away in Belgrade. Doctors there said there had been unexpected complications. A short time later, BILJANA received photographs from the Belgrade hospital that supposedly showed how serious her son's condition was.
I looked at the pictures and saw immediately that it wasn't my child. They just said he was mine. The child in the photograph is much older and larger than the child I bore.
A short time later, her son allegedly died, but BILJANA was not allowed to see the baby's body. It was buried in an undisclosed place. She received a death certificate and was sent away. Vladimir CICAREVIC says what happened was a crime. He believes that thousands of babies have disappeared this way, including his own son in 2003. Together with other parents, he wants to find out what happened to his child. They suspect organized gangs are selling the babies.
The Serbian mafia works closely together with international gangs like the Spanish mafia. They all use the same tricks. They show the same image of a dead baby to dozens of parents, and these parents believe their child has died.
CICAREVIC contends that doctors and nurses are paid to smuggle the infants out of the hospital. Officials are bribed to enable the newborn's documents to be falsified with new birth dates and names. Middlemen then sell the babies, often to desperate couples who cannot have children themselves.
The babies fetch between 15 and 45,000 euros on the Serbian market. Usually only buyers from abroad can afford that kind of money. Many children are sold to people from Germany.
This kind of baby trafficking may have been going on for decades in Serbia. This clinic in Belgrade is allegedly bound up in the scam. It's the Narodni Front Hospital, one of Serbia's biggest maternity hospitals. Tens of thousands of children have been born here, and some babies have apparently disappeared.
During the 1980s and 90s, there were occasionally reports that children disappeared from our clinic. But charges were filed only once in 1997, and the case got lost in the courts. At some point, the accusations simply stopped.
Staff at the clinic would much rather show us their computer-aided registration of infants, which is supposed to make any manipulation of documents impossible. But the Parents Association says this is all a blind.
A mother got in touch with us a few days ago. She had just given birth, she said, and her child was stolen.
It may be one more case that will never be solved. It's made some Serbian mothers afraid to give birth in clinics. The new government in Belgrade is beginning to take notice.
The ministries of the Interior, Justice, and Health are working intensively on resolving the case of the missing babies and bringing the truth to light.
BILJANA TODIC has filed charges against an unknown perpetrator, and she wants police to investigate her case.
I often think I'll see my boy again. I dream of holding him in my arms.
Biljana says one thing is certain. One day her son will play together with his friends in the garden at her house.